The winter season can be a challenging time of year for plants and plant caretakers. So here with more on that is Craig with Grow for Good 417. Good to see you again. How are things?
They're doing all right.
They're doing all right, yes. So first things first, one of the reasons we asked you to come on the show today is something just recently kind of happened with Grow for Good. So tell our viewers what's been going on.
Yeah, so this past weekend, the heater went out in our shop, and so ended up freezing all of the plants that we had in the shop.
Which is crazy. So what is like the repair or like the next step of this look like for you and your business?
Well, the next step is that we're going to clean up the mess that we have, and then we're going to try to get more plants ordered. And we have, but thankfully we've had some great help with Tasha Adams at Hickory Lane Plants.
Yeah.
She ended up setting up a GoFundMe page where we can help to recoup that loss that we had.
Yeah, so if people are interested in helping with that, they can go there. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is, with that being said, right, we have a lot of kind of at-home plant caretakers, and it can be really tricky to take care of a plant for a lot of people, but especially in the cold seasons, because it's a lot of plants just don't do as well in the cold. So tell me a few tips on what these people at home can do to kind of avoid their plants dying or something bad happening to them throughout the cold months.
Yeah, so whenever you bring your plants in from fall, you end up sitting it in this perfect spot that you love it, but maybe the plant doesn't love it. So reassess where you're going to put that plant and move it around. You also have to be aware of the vents. The heater dries out the air and will dry out the plants, and we'll have crispy edges on the plants. So making sure to move that away from there, and just to keep a close eye on that plant. And don't worry about it. There may be some leaves that drop, but it's starting to be spring again, so it'll pick back up.
Yeah, overall it's fine. Now, if someone was curious and needed more help, could they come to you and Grow for Good for advice on maybe what to do if they're in a pickle with all of this?
Yes, please. You could send me a message, Facebook, Instagram, text, call me, whatever. You can get a hold of me, and I'll help you out with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so on a brighter note now, you have an event coming up, so tell me what the event is first.
Yeah, so the event is the Galentine's plant party that we have with Artistry Pottery.
Okay.
And so it's on February 8th at 6 p.m. The event's on my Facebook page. But you'll take one of these pots and you'll paint it however you want to. Okay. And then Artistry Pottery is going to kiln it. And then a week later, you pick it up, and it's going to have this little plant in it.
That's kind of fancy.
Beautiful.
Okay,
yes.
So here's the thing. We're going to put Morgan in the hot seat here.
Okay.
And we're going to see what your artistry is like, so you just go for it. No, you got this.
Okay.
I believe in you. I believe in you.
So this is a Sweetheart Hoya plant. So
okay.
It's a heart. And they're really easy to care for. You end up letting it get completely dry before you end up watering it. And it takes pretty bright light.
Yeah. Okay, another question about plants this time of year. If maybe we're a new plant owner or we're wanting to get into it, right? What's like a good plant you would advise people to maybe purchase or get for this time of year?
One of them is Hoya, are pretty easy to care for, but we also like the Sansevieria or snake plants. They're really easy to care for. They're pretty forgiving. If you forget to water it, then
they're pretty forgiving. I like that.
Very forgiving. Also, the pothos, like vining pothos, those are really easy to care for. They do need a little bit more water than the Sansevieria. But
yeah. Now remind people too, like, how did you become so knowledgeable, I guess, on plants and kind of start this whole company up?
Well, I grew up with plants throughout my life. I had my grandmother. She was a president of the Cactus Society in Memphis, Tennessee.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so I'm also I'm finding old books that she has had. I have a big book that's just the Book of Cacti, and it has her name and her address inside of it, and so, yeah.
So a lot of early beginnings. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so let's check in on this art project over here.
All
Morgan,
right.
how's it going?
Trying to be Bob Ross.
Trying to be Bob Ross.
Bob Ross, I'm coming for you.
What's the inspiration here? Tell us the backstory.
I was just thinking, I don't know.
Okay.
I was thinking this would look good on Galentine's night, so that's what I was just
No,
thinking.
that's
Imagine having some wine and some hanging out with your friends.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, Craig, if people want more information, how can they keep up with Grow for Good?
Grow for Good 417 at socials.
At
everywhere.
everything.
At
Okay.
everything.
Perfect.
Yes.
Easy enough. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
and
thank
thanks
you
for all
for
your
having
plant
me.
education. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, after the break, we've got